Hello everybody, welcome to Short Shot Archery. Anthony here, and today let's talk about the multi-format archer. Now this question was brought up by a subscriber, and well, I answered it then when they asked, but I've been thinking about this and I really just want to expand upon this question they asked. I have a couple of examples, and I just really want to just share my thoughts on this topic, and maybe this will help give you an idea on if you want to try out other disciplines of archery or other formats in archery in the same shooting discipline. Okay, first off, what is a multi-format archer? So for me, how I think about this is it's an archer that shoots more than one format, but it can also be more than one discipline too. So for example, Olympic recurve. You have your standard Olympic recurve distances, 70 meters, or if you're younger, maybe 60 meters or 50 meters. You have your set target size, everything's the same. Now, if you were gonna shoot another format, you could shoot Olympic recurve, but field archery, and shoot, field, which, uses the same bow, but there's a different format to the rules and the distances and things like that. But there's also more, because you could then switch from your Olympic recurve to, say, a bare bow and shoot bare bow distances. Still a recurve, but definitely two different disciplines of archery. You're going to shoot the bows slightly different, and there's going to be different equipment requirements to make sure that the bow is considered a bare bow and an Olympic recurve. So let's get into this, and I have two really great archers to give examples of being a multi-format archer and kind of being against, or at least not willing to try multiple archery formats. Now before we get started, I do want to just put this out here. It's not really like a pro or a con against the two. It's all your personal choice and what you find interesting and what you feel like you're going to enjoy. I don't see it as you have to shoot multiple formats to be successful, or you don't shoot multiple formats and you'll be successful. It's definitely a choice thing and what you're willing to practice and work hard at, and then you'll succeed, regardless of what it is. So our first example of a really great multi-format archer would be, in my mind, Brady Ellison. Now, Brady Ellison's definitely known for Olympic recurve. He's been to several Olympic games now. He's even won medals at them. He definitely dominates the target, Olympic recurve field in the U.S., but he also shoots Olympic recurve, but field. He shoots field archery with his Olympic recurve. He also shoots compound. I'm pretty sure he's a fairly avid hunter as well. And for all I know, he may actually shoot other disciplines of archery that I am unaware of at this point in time. But the cool thing is that he's using and taking in all this knowledge from all these different disciplines and formats of archery, and he's clearly applying them well to just shooting in general, and he's succeeding at it, and he's been succeeding at it for quite a long time now. So when I think of a multi-format archer, Brady Ellison is definitely one that sticks out in my mind right away as somebody that you can say, all right, this guy is, he's shooting compound, he's shooting field archery, and he's succeeding at all of them, or at least he's taking the good parts of them and applying it to his Olympic recurve and just his archery in general. Okay, so now we need the other side of the spectrum, and the other side of the spectrum is the not multi-format archer, the one that stays to a particular discipline. In this case, my example is Kuban Chan. Now, one moment, he is a really excellent archer, but for me and from what I've seen and my knowledge of him and his shooting, I think he's a good example of somebody that was very comfortable in the Olympic recurve 70 meter space, and then he ventured outside of it, not a lot. He ventured out to Olympic recurve 18 meters, which is indoors, and though he had a success, it seemed to undermine his success at 70 meters. And the result of this was him not making the World Cup team for Korea. Now, you do have to keep in mind, Korea is a really tough country, you know, in terms of archery. There's a lot of skilled archers, but it's very interesting to watch somebody be so successful, you know, win a gold medal at the Olympic Games, and then kind of just fall off the rankings as he branched out a little bit into, you know, shooting 18 meter, the 18 meter distance, and maybe not as much 70. It was just enough that, you know, his competition at home was able to edge him out of his placement on the World Cup team. So for those people that are like, oh, you gotta go multi-format, you gotta try compound, barebow, everything. You know, in some cases, if you're just not interested, or if you find like it's taking too much time away from the core archery discipline or format that you really enjoy, then it could hurt you in the long run. And that's really the purpose of this video, is showing you both sides. You know, Brady that's succeeding with his, you know, the whole variety of archery he does, and then Kuban Chan, who's hit a bit of a rough spot. You know, obviously there was probably a lot of other things going on after winning gold at the Olympics that you do have to keep in mind, but at the same point in time, it was interesting to see how quickly things changed when he started shooting 18 meters, and I guess maybe laid off the 70 a little bit. So with that, hopefully this video can help you make a more, I don't know, educated decision, and let you just think about what you enjoy in archery. So thank you so much for watching. If anybody has any questions, comments, or whatever, I would love to hear them down below. I'll do my best to answer them and read through them, because I'm interested in hearing the consensus around this topic. So thank you so much again for watching, and as always, happy shooting.